The more spiritually visible you get on social media and life, the more spiritually you're tried, right? When I say tried, I mean attacked. You have things unexpectedly happen. There's a lot of, you can say, unexpected turbulence that happens when you decide to show yourself visibly, right? Um, I don't have IG anymore, but I can recall when I did have Instagram, right? A lot of posts that I made, right? The timing of the post and the timings when I had something happen after was very interesting. I'm a firm believer in evil eye. I believe evil eye is real. I believe people's intentions and their thoughts and the way they carry themselves and the energy that they put out can actually affect your dreams and goals, even if you're not in the proximity of that person. And I think, the veil is lifting in terms of how much people are becoming aware of how energy interacts with one another and how much energy interacts with themselves. I think personally, we're heading into a future where people are going to become more spiritually advanced, more spiritually in tune with how to carry themselves, how to process emotions, and becoming more emotionally intelligent. And a big case of that is, if you want to, admit it or not, a big case of that is because people are becoming more spiritually in tune with themselves, right? Now, spirituality, right? To a lot of people, in the basic terms, they might think spirituality is probably being in nature, monk mode, and meditating. Yes, those are practices, right? Those teachings are in yoga and sports and remedies, etc., right? But spirituality is really the acceptance of your experience here, being here on this planet. Whether if you believe in the religions or if you're an atheist, whatever it is, we all here for a reason and we don't know how we got here, right? Just to put that out there, when you become more acceptant of your life and you become more acceptant of the spiritual essence of what it means to be a human being, I feel like you go through life more non-judgmental, and I think you go through life with a mindset of a little bit more clarity, right? You become more acceptance of the good and bad, a yin and yang, truly, the dark and good, and I think the people that become depressed or stuck or locked into depression, they haven't accepted the bad sides of themselves or their life yet. In order to change, in order to grow, you have to accept the bad things of yourself first. The most delusional people don't grow because to them nothing is wrong with them. Nothing will ever be wrong with them. They don't see anything wrong, so how can they change anything, right? Something must be broken in order to be fixed. This same metaphor can be applied to our lives. You get me? No one's perfect. There isn't a handbook on life or like a manual guide or something to be like, hey, this is how you're supposed to do life. We've been told and taught a lot of these fake ass teachings in terms of getting a job, a 9 to 5, a degree. Yeah, these things might economically improve our life, right? But does that actually fulfill us? Does that actually bring substance to our soul? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a real soul, bro. Like, when you feel something and you had that empathy when you see a homeless person, bro, you have a soul. When you have money and you see somebody that need food and you just, even if you can't really help them, it's like, damn, I wish I can. Bro, that's because you have a soul, you have real empathy, and a lot of people walk around lacking that. A lot of people go through life without ever feeling that moment, that feeling of feeling like a human being. So many people are empty. I've known so many people with money who, because they can't fulfill themselves in any other way, their way is not only seeking external validation, but most importantly, seeking the materialization and dwelling in it and making it seem like that is their end all be all. And it's very sad to say and very sad to see, because you can see it, especially if you're aware. A lot of people are insecure, bro. A lot of people hate their life. They're miserable with their life. And I'm talking about even the ones that show up smiling like they're happy, nothing's wrong. These be the main people that is going through the worst, And I think most importantly, if you're able to figure out a way to congregate yourself with positive people, with positive affirmations, you wake up, you start the day, a positive routine, how can 90% of your life not be positive? Bad things can come to people, especially if they're good people, but there's nothing to really justify that. Like, if someone just walk up and do some crazy stuff, of course it's unfortunate, but I will personally say if you can avoid situations like that and just really be in the dwelling of positive affirmations and a lifestyle for yourself, you can absolutely avoid situations like that, you know? I only said that because there's people out there that be like, well, this happened to me, I didn't deserve it. You know, things happen to us. But if you can lower the percentage of bad shit happening to you, I suggest do it. You know, I do it all the time, but life is good, man. You have to find your calling. You have to find out what makes you vulnerable, what makes you happy, what makes you good. Figure, like, watch how you feel around people. Watch how you feel around your family. Watch how you feel around that boss, that manager, or coworker you have. Just make sure that you're in tune with yourself everywhere you go. And the only way to do that is to be in the present moment. You can't be somewhere, right? And my bad, I know I'm yapping. Like, I'm yapping right now. But we can't be somewhere, right? Okay. You can't be somewhere and you feel off, right? You feel weird. You're like, man, I don't know if I should be here. You can't expect anything good out of that, right? You have to follow along. You have to see, okay, like, yeah, this is making me not feel good, right? And just fix it. And you have to actually take the action to move on it. You know, when you feel something, act on it. Don't just wait. Don't be in this realm of limerence. You just you know what I'm saying? Like, actually take the action of it. When you're spiritually visible, the more you are, actually, the more you're tried, you know? So protect yourself. There's a real spiritual war going on right now. You know, a lot of unseen things, you know, to the human eye are happening, you know? And I think you can feel it when you walk out of the house. Even if you live in a good neighborhood, when you go into society, you interact with society, social media, and just, you know, just other avenues, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll feel it. You know, there's a real, like, tension in the air. And, you know, of course, a lot of this shit could stem from, like, fake politicians and, you know, just a lot of the things that's going on in the world. A lot of people are lost right now. A lot of people are, you know, AI and shit and TikTok, and, you know, everybody's a thinker and think pieces talker, and you know, it's just not, where's authentic people at? Like, who are the people that's giving the real game, you know? And I never call myself like a spiritual guru, none of that. I just say, hey, look, this is who I am. I'm gonna give the game, and I'm gonna let the algorithm and the universe do what it gotta do, you know, and I'm gonna let the people choose, you know. And I think that's another thing too. Make sure how you feel when you watch your content creators. Even myself, you know, if I make you feel good, hey, that gives you everything you need to know. If I make you feel bad, hey, maybe you shouldn't be watching me, you know. But just that acceptance of any outcome, you know, you'll be more understanding in life, and you'll be more you'll be more you. That's the best way I can say it. You know, life isn't supposed to make us this know it all, like this perfectionist. That's impossible. Appreciate who you are, appreciate the negatives and the positives, and see where your life takes you. I'm out. I love y'all.